I've been playing video games for nearly my entire life. And then eventually, I started following virtual reality. It started off with this YouTube video, The Hover Junkers Devlog number 4 by Brandon JLA, released in June of 2015. Around this time, I was 13 years old, and when I saw this video, I was amazed at what I was looking at. The fact that he was physically ducking, shooting, and reloading was awesome to me. So I told myself, I'm gonna get me one. Of course, me being only in middle school, I had no source of income. I would only get money from holidays and birthdays, and it was never enough to purchase an HTC Vive, not to mention a computer powerful enough to run VR smoothly. Yeah, I could have saved the money to eventually buy myself a PC and a Vive, but I'm pretty bad when it comes to saving money. So I went with the cheaper alternative and bought myself a Google Cardboard. It's basically a piece of cardboard that you fold together and then you put your phone inside of it. It was a cool, nifty little thing. I remember it being pretty fun to put together. The only things I could really do with it though were watch some 360-degree YouTube videos, photos, etc. Anyways, I moved places eventually, and I think someone in my house chucked it in the trash, so that was the end of my first VR headset. A couple of years later, I went to the mall with some of my family, and we visited the Microsoft store. I was around 15 at the time. But anyways, at the front of the store, they had a VR station set up for customers to try. And when I saw it, I begged my uncle to let me try it. He had to sign this waiver, and he did. I got to choose 3 games to play, and I chose The Lab, Job Simulator, and Raw Data. After this experience, it just made me want to get VR even more. Some weeks passed and I arranged to have my friend try out VR at the same Microsoft store. He's never been in VR before at this point, so I really wanted him to try it out. So on what was maybe a Saturday, he and his mom came to pick me up and we went to the mall. So we arrived and I was like, are you ready? And he said, yeah. I let him go first and he played The Blue, Golf, and Raw Data. And in his words, I was so immersed, I forgot where I was. This is also when he decided that he was gonna get VR. Afterwards, we went back to his house and we went window shopping on Amazon for PCs. The PC I was planning to get looked something like this, and I'm glad I didn't end up getting it cause no pre-builds for me. Anyways, like I said before, I'm not good with saving money, so I ended up never getting it. More years passed, and at this point, I'm starting my junior year of high school. I got like $400 for my birthday, so I was able to get myself an Oculus Rift. I went home very happy that day, and I was excited to show my VR friends that I was able to move my hands and stuff.
Oh fuck, I hit my chair.
One mistake that I made, however, was not getting a better GPU before I bought my Rift. I had a 1050 Ti, and of course, it sucked ass at running VR games. Even Beat Saber. For 2 years, I played VR with terrible FPS, stutters, and crashes. But those 2 years were really fun, and having a VR headset for VR chat brought a whole new level of interaction with me and my friends.
What the fuck?
A year later, I'm in my senior year of high school. I upgraded my PC. New motherboard, RAM, GPU, you name it. All the new parts cost roughly around $1,000 in total. Now to how I was able to obtain this money, I will explain now. Before winter break was about to begin, a student exchange trip to Kagoshima, Japan was announced in my Japanese class. This trip happens every year, and since it was my last year in high school, I really wanted to go on this trip to end school off on a memorable experience. The total cost for the trip was $3,500, a price that was far beyond anything my family could afford, meaning that I would have to find a way to earn it. At first, I tried asking my uncle if he would be able to help me, but it turned into a lecture about work ethic and working for the things you want in life. In the end, he said that if I were able to raise $2,500 on my own, he would give me the remaining $1,000 to pay off the trip. And when he told me this, I basically gave up. I thought it was impossible to raise that money in such a short period of time because the first payment for the trip was $1,500 and it was due by the end of January, which was 1 month. There was really only one way to get that money, and I would have to get a job and work till I couldn't stand anymore. So I did. So winter break starts. I asked my old boss I used to work for at a local grocery store if I can have my old job back and that I wanted as many hours as possible. He told me that he would contact me about that in a couple days. I worked at my mom's shop as a receptionist of sorts, greeting customers, handling cash, etc. Then one day, I got a call from my old boss telling me that I can come back to work for him, and I was like, oh, pog you. I would work 11-hour days nearly every day due to winter break, stocking shelves and ringing up customers. By the end of winter break, I still didn't have enough money, so I had to work after school. As soon as school ended, my friend would drive me to work. No break in between except maybe 15 minutes to eat Taco Bell, and then it was straight to the cashier. After work, my mom would come pick me up, and although I was tired, I still wanted to play games with my friends online, so I did that and then finished up any schoolwork that I had. After a lot of hard work, I met my $1,500 goal. I was just barely able to get enough money to make the first payment. I felt a sigh of relief afterwards. I thought to myself that maybe this trip is possible, maybe I might be able to go. But it wasn't over. I still needed to raise $2,000, and the payment was due by the end of February, so I have another month to earn $2,000 while attending school at the same time. The process repeated. Go to school, go to work, sleep. Go to school, go to work, sleep. Go to school, go to work, sleep. The days were starting to go by slower and slower. Every hour felt like 5 hours. There were many days where I was super desperate to go home. But I kept reminding myself that if I succeeded, I could go to Japan, with a couple of friends too. It was now the end of February, and I did it. I raised enough money to go on the trip. The dozens upon dozens of hours I worked along with having to manage with school paid off. I gave my mom all the money and then she wrote me a check. I put the check along with my application papers inside of an envelope. I was gonna go to Japan. Or so I thought. I was watching YouTube videos on a Tuesday night when my phone rang. It was an email from my Japanese teacher, and here's what it said. As you may know, the city of Miami and Kagoshima have maintained a strong sister cities relationship for almost 30 years. Each year we have had delegations of students that travel to and from these countries. In all these years, we have had only one interruption to this long-standing relationship, and that was as a result of the typhoon in Sendai region in Japan. Unfortunately, due this year because of the coronavirus in China, there has been a number of concerns by parents and how this could impact their children. We understand that even though the virus is not directly impacting Japan in the same proportionate way, there have been a few diagnosed cases. Hence, to be cautious and until further notice, we have sadly made a decision to postpone this year's Miami-Kagoshima Sister Cities Wings Youth Exchange trip until further notice. If you have already provided payment, it will be returned to you promptly. Again, we are saddened by this decision, but we feel that it's in the best interest of the kids, and I know it would put parents at ease. If there are any changes or updates, we will be contacting you immediately. Thank you. After I read this, I went to my mom and told her that the trip was canceled. She was telling me about how unfortunate the situation was and that it was better that I don't go so I don't get COVID. I showed no emotions until my mom came up to me with her phone to show me the amount of money I had earned over the course of 2 months. Instead of cheering me up, it just made me more sad. I went to the bathroom and cried for a solid 15 minutes. All the work I put in was for nothing. After that, I left my apartment and walked to the local park. I brought my phone with me and listened to some Minecraft music. I sat on the swings for an hour staring at nothing. Then I bought some ice cream and walked home. I skipped school the next day, sitting at my computer watching YouTube videos. I came to school the next day pretty jacked up. I was just tired. I came to my Japanese class during lunch and picked up my envelope. My Japanese teacher gave me a hug and told me about how bad she felt because she knew how much I worked to go on that trip. I returned the $1,000 my uncle gave me and was left with $2,500. And with that, I was able to buy myself all new parts for my PC. I was finally able to reach 90 frames per second in my VR games with the 2060 Super. I was performing a lot better in Beat Saber, becoming not as nauseous in VR chat, and overall having a better experience. I highly recommend that you don't get VR until you get a PC that is capable of running it. Don't go through what I went through. The main game that I really played most of the time was VR chat. I found a new friend group and hung out with them daily for long periods of time. Playing games, talking, messing around, and playing games, talking, messing around, and having a good time. Yo, this is Twice from the future here. So at this point in the video, things kind of hit a wall. I started working on the script for this video around a year ago from today. And the reason why it took so long to put this video out is because I kind of scrapped it. Some weird stuff happened with my PC after I switched out the motherboard. I needed to reset the computer. So I lost a decent amount of files, and for some reason, the project file, the Vegas project file for this video, just stopped opening and it wouldn't work. So I almost gave up because I worked on that video for so long, and then all the work that I had done was gone. Until one day, I just randomly decided, yeah, let me try opening this file again. So I opened it, and then magically it just worked. So I'm gonna read the next parts of this script real quick. Present time. Later, after my school shut down due to COVID, I moved from Miami to Las Vegas. School was basically over at this point since everything was online and we weren't really gonna get a real graduation. So I packed my bags and left. I left a lot of stuff behind in Miami, one of those things being my Oculus Rift. I gave that to my brother, and the reason I did this was because I was planning to get an upgrade, a Valve Index. I ordered my Index on August 7th, and Steam says it will take 8 or more weeks to ship. But I've heard that some people have waited 10 weeks, 11 weeks, and sometimes even more. Hopefully Valve is able to speed up shipping through these tough times, because I want it now. When that arrives, expect an unboxing video. I'm also going to buy myself an RTX 3080 so that I can reach that 144Hz refresh rate. I'm really excited for all that stuff to come in. So now that we're here in the present, we know that I didn't get a 3080, instead I got a 3070 because it was just hard as hell to get a 30, or just, you know, any graphics card when it was releasing. It was just super hard to get. I even have footage. I have footage of me trying to get a 3080.
I'm sitting here at the Newegg page, have it pulled up and everything. I also have it pulled up on B&H just in case.
I'm really tired. No, it's taking a long time to refresh. No, wait, what's going on? The store page isn't refreshing. Yo, Newegg's page is getting f***ing flooded. I can't get a tab. Who the fuck said I had gigabyte Wi-Fi, bro? I see it! Add to cart, 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 add to cart. Add to fucking cart! Go! Go! Add to cart! Add to fucking cart! Yeah, let's go, come on, dude. Thank you for visiting Newegg. We're truly sorry for any inconveniences experienced with our server. Please try again. We're gonna sell on eBay for 1,200 bucks.
And here's some and here's the final part of the script real quick. The future of VR. VR has been growing over the years, especially this year with COVID and everything. The Oculus Quest is the hottest HMD on the market with its cheap cost and easy setup. My little brother even got one. If you don't have VR, I highly recommend you give it a try. It's my favorite form of entertainment and it's truly something special. And I stand by that statement today. Of course, some things have changed around. It's no longer the Oculus Quest that's the hottest VR headset. It's not the Quest 2. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed my little story time video. Took a lot of work. I had a lot of fun making it as well, or did I? Yeah, I did. If you have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Anyways guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.